The Galactic Council Hall always smelled faintly of ozone and poorly concealed panic. Today, it was thick in both. Representatives from 100 species whispered across the chamber, translating devices chirping mid-sentence, trying to process what had just happened. At the center of the room, a single word echoed like a death sentence. They saved a human. Councillor Threx of the Valkyrie Republic shifted uncomfortably in his seat, his two hearts pounding out of sync. He hadn't expected a commendation, but neither had he expected this level of existential dread. His people had always prided themselves on moral integrity. When he saw the human diplomat bleeding on the docking bay floor, surrounded by mercenary blades, he acted. Instinctively. Morally. Stupidly, apparently. A HFY delegate leaned over, her voice low and incredulous. "You realize what you've done?" Threx blinked. "I prevented a murder. You triggered Earth's humanity clause." He frowned. "Is that a law?" "It's worse," the HFY said, pulling back as if his naivety might be contagious. "It's a promise." On Earth, half a galaxy away, Admiral Layla Cortez stood on the bridge of the UNS Vindicator, her lips curled in something between amusement and quiet fury. The feed from the council meeting played in the background, but she'd already heard enough. One of theirs had been attacked. Someone else stepped in to help. That was the trigger. "Prep Diplomatic Team Omega," she said, snapping her fingers. Her second-in-command, Captain Ray Malik, hesitated. "Omega? Not Delta?" "Delta's for subtlety. This is Omega. Smiling thunder. You know the drill." He grinned. "Polite faces up front, fleet in the rear?" "Exactly. And get me a line to the Valkyrie Chancellor. I want him brief before the galaxy convinces him we're here to eat his children." On Valkyra Prime, Chancellor HFY paced his office with the energy of a man waiting for his own execution. The call from Earth came within hours. Not a single human, but a chorus, diplomats, generals, cultural attaches, all beaming with sincere gratitude and well-rehearsed friendliness. "We want to thank you," said Ambassador Lillian Zhou, her smile dazzling and dangerous. "You saved one of ours. We don't forget kindness. And we always repay our debts." Ahar cleared his throat. "Your response seems a bit robust for a diplomatic thank you." "Oh, this? Just standard protocol," Zhou said as footage cut to Earth's fleets slipping into orbit over Valkyra. Clean lines, heavy armor, weapons hot but unpowered. "We call it strategic reassurance. You're our friends now. Friends help each other." There was something unsettling about how often humans smiled while talking about warships. Back on the ground, the humans wasted no time. Defense contractors began surveying Valkyrie borders. Engineers offered to optimize their power grid. A military academy was established near the capital, just to share best practices. Within a week, Valkyra had gone from quiet republic to the most protected piece of real estate in 3 sectors. Not all Valkyrie citizens saw it as protection. "This is occupation," snapped General Vakharu, watching a human tank glide past his barracks. "They've deployed more medical teams than artillery," countered his aide Vryn. "And the pirates on the southern trade routes have vanished. Because Earth vaporized them." Vryn hesitated. "I mean, yes. But efficiently." Meanwhile, Earth's media spun the story like a bedtime fable. One brave alien. One lucky human. A new era of interstellar friendship. On the council floor, debate raged. Some demanded sanctions. Others whispered of preparing for war, just in case Earth's gratitude turned imperial. But no one made a move. Because everyone remembered Mars. Everyone remembered the Corellan siege. Everyone remembered what happened last time someone underestimated humanity's loyalty. In the orbiting diplomatic cruiser, Zhou addressed the gathered Valkyrie delegation. "Look, I get it. This is a lot. But Earth doesn't play politics with loyalty. You saved one of ours. That means something. It always will." Adhar rubbed his temples. "Can we refuse your help?" Zhou's smile didn't waver. "Of course. Absolutely. Just say the word. And then? Then we'd have to interpret that as an intentional distancing. A withdrawal of friendship. Which would be disappointing. Tragic even. And probably interpreted by our defense council as a signal to reposition forces. Preemptively. You know, just in case. The Valkyrie delegation left the meeting in silence. From the observation deck of the Vindicator, Admiral Cortez sipped her coffee as she watched Valkyra spin below. The sun cast a golden crescent across the horizon. They're good people, she said aloud. Captain Malik joined her. Yeah. Pity for anyone who tries to hurt them now. They'll adapt, Cortez said. Or they'll burn. Malik nodded. So, what's next? Cortez's eyes narrowed. We wait. Someone's going to test us. They always do. And when they did, Earth would be ready, with a smile, a handshake, and a railgun. Because the galaxy had forgotten the first rule of dealing with humans. And thanks to the Valkyrie's good deed, they were all about to be reminded. Pirates used to laugh when they saw a Valkyrie freighter on their scanners. Slow, lightly armed, rich with minerals, easy pickings. But now they checked twice. Then they turned off their engines and drifted cold, praying the human satellites didn't notice them. They noticed anyway. In less than 2 months, Earth's orbital defense grid had gone from advisory proposal to full deployment. Every Valkyrie trade lane was now shadowed by sleek, silent human cruisers bearing no flags, only the subtle hum of kinetic batteries charging. The message was clear: touch them, and you die confused. Valkyra's economy boomed overnight. Trade flourished. Infrastructure blossomed with tech decades ahead of their own. But in Chancellor Aharvar's cabinet, the mood had grown complicated. This is unsustainable, growled Minister Rennick, pacing with barely concealed panic. Their satellites control our comms. Their advisors sit in on military briefings. They've replaced half our security protocols with their own encrypted systems. It's protection, said Vryn, now an envoy liaising with Earth's embassy. And effective. Have you seen our crime rates? Or the pirate surrender records? They surrendered because Earth dropped tungsten rods into their moons. Vryn offered a noncommittal shrug. No collateral damage. Precision strikes. You have to admire the efficiency. Rennick's tone darkened. That's not protection. It's control. Admiral Layla Cortez didn't call it control. She called it responsibility. After all, the Valkyrie hadn't asked to be Earth's allies. But they'd earned it the hard way, and humans didn't leave friends out in the cold. She walked the decks of Valkyra's new orbital academy, watching young Valkyrie cadets train alongside Earth's best. They struggled with the zero-G drills, but they were quick learners. She liked them. Honest. Grateful. Nervous. Remind you of anyone? Captain Malik asked, floating beside her, clipboard in hand. She smirked. You, the first time I tossed you into a vacuum chamber. Uncalled for. But fair. A distant alarm sounded, just a drill. The cadets snapped into formation with impressive speed. Cortez's smirk widened. They'll be ready. They already are, Malik said, then his tone shifted. But what happens when someone decides to test them, not us? That's when they find out we're the same thing. On the diplomatic front, Earth's presence drew more attention than a black hole at a wedding. Delegates from neighboring empires began pulling their ambassadors from Valkyra. Trade partners started requiring non-intervention clauses before signing deals. The Valkyrie council chamber echoed less with debate and more with dread. They think we're Earth's puppet, said Chancellor Adhar during a midnight briefing. That our sovereignty is compromised. And is it? Joe asked gently, sipping tea in the corner of the room like a woman who'd seen this a dozen times before. We can't make a decision without your advisors nodding first. Joe leaned forward. You can. But should you? That's the question. Earth doesn't command you. We suggest. With conviction. Ahar gave a dry laugh. With railguns. She didn't deny it. News feeds across the galaxy painted the situation with differing brushes. To some, Velcara was the golden child of peace and protection, prosperous, defended, thriving. To others, it was the first domino in Earth's slow, smiling conquest of the stars. Humanity didn't help the rumors. Every success was followed by a press release. Every upgrade came with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and a photogenic Earth Valkyrie handshake. It was less an occupation and more a PR campaign. But beneath the celebration ran a current of unease. One Valkyrie freighter captain, ex-military, spoke quietly to a human engineer repairing his ship. "You ever wonder if you're the monster in someone else's story?" The engineer, a grizzled tech named Rios, paused. "All the time. Doesn't change the work, though." "But if they push back, what then?" Rios just shrugged. "Then we remind them why humans are terrible at losing friends." And then it happened. A minor outpost near the galactic fringe went dark. The colony of Tarsus IV, Valkyrie administered, but recently upgraded by Earth, stopped transmitting. Scans showed scorched buildings, missing civilians, residual ion trails. Attackers unidentified, but the signature matched Taraxi weapons tech. The Taraxi Dominion denied involvement. Earth didn't wait for an apology. Admiral Cortez was in orbit within 48 hours. No press. No ceremony. No warning. Joe met with Adhar behind sealed doors. "They thought it was just a Valkyrie station," she said, placing a data chip on the table. "They didn't realize it was ours too. I assume you're not here to ask for permission." "No," she said, standing. "We're here to remind the galaxy what a promise from Earth means." She turned back before exiting. "You saved one of us. This is just us returning the favor, with interest." Outside the window, Earth's fleet shimmered into high orbit, sleek and terrible. And somewhere across the stars, a Taraxi warship blinked on the edge of a sensor array, unaware it had already been marked. The Valkyrie Chancellor stood alone for a long moment, staring at the stars, whispering words no one else heard. Not a prayer. A warning. The Taraxi ship never made it home. 3 minutes after breaching the orbital perimeter of the Valkyrie outpost, it disintegrated in silence, reduced to molecular ash by a kinetic strike that moved faster than light and judgment combined. No warnings, no demands, no hails. Earth's message wasn't diplomatic. It was final. The Taraxi Dominion held an emergency session of their War Council. Rhetoric was thick. Pride throbbed in every proclamation. They condemned Earth's aggression. Declared Velcara an illegitimate puppet regime. Called for unity among the older powers to resist Terran imperialism. The speech aired live across 50 systems. It ended 30 seconds before Earth's answer arrived, an unmarked data packet streamed to every public network. Inside, a compilation. Satellite footage. Ground reports. Audio files. Every atrocity committed on Tarsus IV. Children missing. Families erased. Confirmed Taraxi weapons signatures. And then, at the end, Admiral Cortez herself, staring into the camera, jaw clenched and voice low. "You harmed our allies. You hurt our own. We will not negotiate over corpses. We will not compromise on survival. You chose this." The Taraxi never responded publicly again. Earth's counteroffensive was swift and surgical. Strike teams hit Taraxi listening posts. Communications relays vanished. Orbital platforms deactivated mid-orbit and burned in atmosphere. Not a single civilian casualty. Every move calculated, broadcast, deliberate. This wasn't war. It was deterrence, weaponized. Within days, Taraxi fleets pulled back from neutral zones. Border stations went quiet. Trade routes reopened, traffic now flanked by human destroyers flying no colors but a soft blue glow across their hulls, the new mark of a system under Terran protection. And Velcara? Velcara flourished. New orbital cities were drafted. The first Valkyrie was accepted into the Earth Military Academy. Their children learned Terran languages alongside their own. Earth engineers installed a planetary defense grid that could outgun most capital fleets. And through it all, Earth never asked for repayment. No annexation. No governance. Just one thing. Remember who came when no one else would. Chancellor HFY stood atop the balcony of the new Unity Spire, watching construction bots dance along the skyline. Below, markets buzz with hybrid tech, cultures blending in every corner. Ambassador Zhou joined him, a datapad in one hand and that familiar half-smile on her lips. "You've built something," she said. "We've built something," he corrected. "Not everyone sees it that way. Some think we're playing a long game." She shrugged. "Let them. Truth is, humans don't do long games. We do loud promises and louder follow-through." Ahar turned to face her. "But this costs you. Fleets. Resources. Political capital. It cost us nothing we weren't already prepared to spend. For us? For anyone who saves a human." Across the galaxy, other species began to rethink their strategies. Saving a human, once a mere act of morality, had become an interstellar investment. Reports filtered in. Terran diplomats now walked with armed escorts. Civilians abroad received discreet surveillance. Hostile powers hesitated, suddenly unsure who might be watching. An uneasy peace settled over the stars. But not all was silent. In deep space, a fractured alliance of species, the Reth Collective, watched with growing resentment. Their envoys had warned the Council. Their proposals to limit Earth's influence had been mocked, ignored. And now? Now they whispered in dark sectors, away from satellites and sensors. "They spread like a virus," muttered one Reth general. "Smiling. Grateful. Armed to the teeth. They'll own half the galaxy in a decade. Unless we strike first." But humanity didn't sleep. Inside Earth's strategic intelligence network, the whispers were already logged, the signals tracked. 1,000 unseen eyes watched. 1,000 ears listened. In a darkened control room beneath Geneva, Cortez reviewed a report, then nodded. "Prep Blackwave Protocol." Malik, seated beside her, glanced up. "They planning a war?" "No," she said. "They're planning a mistake." He leaned back, arms crossed. "Why do they keep forgetting?" Cortez didn't answer immediately. Her eyes lingered on the map of expanding Allied systems, glowing like constellations of hard-won trust. "Because they don't believe the stories," she said at last. "They think Earth's kindness is weakness. That our loyalty is leverage. That our rage is negotiable. And it's not." She looked at him. "No. It's a promise." Back on Volcara, in a quiet field once scorched by war and now overgrown with violet grass, a statue stood tall. A human diplomat. A Volcari counselor. Shaking hands. Below it, carved in both tongues. "You saved one of us. We saved all of you." Not a threat. Not a boast. Just the truth.